Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for my client Michelle's vlog. And this week, as promised before, we return to a slightly more traditional conjugate method, although we're going to keep her max effort lifts very, very close. In other words, I'm only going to do about 4 upper and 4 lower body max effort lifts. We're going to keep her classic lifts in the rotation. It's going to be stuff like incline, floor press, close grip, deficit pulls, squatting with a safety bar, things like that is her only variations. Everything else we're going to keep with a lot of the hypertrophy work and supplemental lifts that we know work extremely well for her. Have helped her build her base. It's going to be her pause benching, our incline work, hip thrusts, reverse hypers, all that stuff. One of the things you'll notice, we have changed her over to split squats, and I'll discuss that when we get a little further into it. But here you see on her upper body day, we did incline as a max effort lift. It's her first time ever really going heavy on it, so we're happy with a 105. Again, not a problem there because she's still building the exercise up, and we know it will carry over to her max bench. Then, of course, we do incline benching, which is something we're going to tend to keep in for now because, again, it addresses her weak links and the bench press, which is that mid-range sticking point. Okay, she's got triceps for days, which is why when she came in, she hit like a 160 or 165 close grip, having not even done any close grip. Her triceps are just that strong, but we like a lot of chest development and things like that. Really, chest more than anything for building her overall bench. But at least we know that no matter what we do, she can come in and close grip really heavy, having not even done a close grip for months, because we've kept her triceps strong and she has a history there. So again, it always gives us the option to close grip at meets if we need to, right? If her wider grip is not up to par, we're having shoulder issues, anything else, we can do that. Right here she is doing barbell rows, although I need to point out to her, she'll see the vlog of course. I do want those to come to a dead stop. They need to be pulled from the floor. Again, we get the best deadlift carryover that way. Again, they bring a lot to the table. I'm a big fan. You guys know I like those barbell rows, depending upon the lifter. I do them in phases myself, take them back out. Some of my different lifters do. All right, here she is with her JM presses. Keep in mind, look at the range of motion and the fact that that is a full power bar. All right, that's a 45-pound power bar with change plates. She's cranking out sets of 10. This is after flat benching and incline benching. Again, strong triceps. Never a weak link for her, but we capitalize on it. Since we do all of that, I'm having her throw some band work back in. The question becomes, why the band work? Tendon health, lockout strength. But the main thing I like out of this is the tendon health. If we're going to do movements like that JM press that can beat up the elbows, we need to keep those elbow tendons healthy. We need blood flow to them. We need them strong. We need them thick. Okay, this will allow us to do that sort of tricep specialization. Same thing with skull crushers. You have to feed them with the bands if you want to keep either one of those lifts in for a long time. All right, deficit deadlift. This is again with a power bar. This is not a deadlift bar. It's more difficult. Deficit deadlift, 295. We're happy with this. She's able to maintain her force production, right? Always good for that lockout strength. A lot of people get this idea that deficits are all about getting more powerful off the floor. That's not really the case. Something that people who've seen on like my private Facebook and stuff have seen Tom Martin and I discuss that. I know Tom from when I lived in the UK. Great coach, phenomenal lifter, has broken an all-time world record before in the deadlift. Okay. Guy deadlifts over 900 pounds, if I recall at this point. He's a young guy too. Okay, he's lean and deadlifts like 900. He feels the same way with it. Again, not saying that deadlift ability always equals knowledge. We know that's not necessarily always the case. Definitely a genetic component. But again, it's just food for thought because he's someone who coaches a lot of elite lifters too. But it's something he and I agreed on a few years ago, a couple years back, in a discussion online. All right. Why the split squats? I don't like the leg press at her gym. I don't like the leg press. She can do these. She's got all the equipment we need to do them. She can run dumbbells if we want to work on grip. If we don't want to work on grip on them, we can run the safety bar so that we're not beating her shoulders up. Great exercise. I like these. I've used these myself in the past. I think they're good for bringing up your back squat. I'm not opposed to even adding these back into my own training at some point, even though I have the belt squat. If you ever really want to double down, you really want your quads to grow quick if they're lagging. If I ever say, hey, I need to bring my squat back up quick, I'll stack these with belt squats in a heartbeat. They just suck. They're not fun to do. Nobody likes doing them. Understandable. But they are effective. Extremely effective. Again, you give me a quad and adductor exercise that's easier to recover from the squat. This is real high on the list. Real high on the list. It's a reason so many top-level Olympic lifters over the decades have used this as an accessory, right? Especially with their more quad-dominant squat style. All right, we do this. We do glute ham raises, which she does weighted. All right, we already had the hip thrusts in there. And then we do reverse hypers. Again, reverse hypers, glute ham raises. These are movements I believe in. These are movements I preach. I'm not saying for every human being on the planet. But again, if I could pick 2 lifts that will bring up your squat and deadlift, help with every knee stability, low back health, all of these things, these are high on my list. I personally attribute these 2 lifts to most of my deadlift personally. Tell me to pick 2 of my exercises that are not rowing of some type. Right, because we know the grip and the lats matter. These are my top 2. These are my top 2 every single time. Okay. Love them. Here she's doing her reverse hypers. I've had her reduce the weight on these because I just want to focus on quality. I don't want her beat up with these. I want to see the glute development, the low back restoration. Why? Why do I not care about pushing these as hard? Look at all the other stuff we have. She's pushing hip thrust. She's pushing glute ham raises with a lot of weight. I need these for restorative effect, and they'll still have a training response. No need for her to push these crazy hard now. Add some extra glute growth, add some low back recovery and development. Great for restoration. My favorite finisher for any lower body workout. Hands down, every client I have who has access to a reverse hyper, we finish the lower body workouts with it. All right, then we finish up the week with her dynamic days. Speed bench against bands. Speed bench against bands. Okay. Love them. Particularly for someone like her with a boxing background. She, again, has the ability to be fast when she needs to. But when I got her, she wasn't fast, was she? Her speed had slowed back down. Some of this stuff helped with that. Get her rate of force production back up. She's good at grinding through lifts. I don't always get the explosive power I want to see out of her lifts. Right, all this stuff helps. Speed boxes against bands, speed pulls against bands. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.